Back, it is time to tee up the Ruth's Chris sizzling shot, celebrating some of the local golfers who fired a hole-in-one. We have three in particular. We have Tim Kaiser at Wildwood Golf Club, 5-iron on the 15th hole. Paul Kern at Glengarry Golf Links on the 15th hole with a 9-iron. And then at Hickory Heights Golf Club with a 5-iron on the 14th hole. That's a high five for all three of these gentlemen from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse at 6 PPG Place downtown, home of the Sizzling Stink. So Ruth's Chris sizzling shots. Paul, I want to get back to Paul Zeise, by the way, joining me in studio. Paul, I want to get back to this talk about the Pirates. Has been pretty much the big talk about in this show about the Anthony Rizzo play with Elias Diaz. We got a tweet from Buckaroo who says Rizzo did not go in a direct line to home. He started out on the foul side of third base, and his slide was on the fair side of third base. He says if it's Yadier Molina, Buster Posey, whom the rule was changed because of, Contreras with the Cubs or Gary Sanchez with the Yankees, he thinks MLB would see it different. How do you feel about that?
I agree. I think if it was one of the bigger name catchers, it probably would have been a fine. They probably would have called it a double play, or there would be some sort of suspension or fine. By the way, Vegas just took a lead.
There we go.
5-4. So it was a pretty exciting game there.
Crazy setup, man.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be 9 goals in this.
Me neither. I thought it'd be pretty low scoring because I thought Washington had figured it out.
Well, it's not just that. I mean, Vegas, too, with Fleury, you kind of felt like this was going to be a 1-0, 2-1 type series, but both teams are just, it's like wide open ice game. I mean, this is like an 80s game.
I mean, usually the big bouts where they're trading punches are in the boxing ring in Vegas, and this time it's on the ice. But that could be this entire series. You'll have to keep an eye on it. Let's go back to the phone lines. Spike in Johnstown. Spike, you're on the Nightly Sports Call.
Hey, Josh. Paul, talking about that play again this afternoon, I agree with the guy that called in there on your tweet. Rizzo was coming down on the foul side, and he got Diaz about 3.5, 4 foot in front of the plate. So he deviated 4.5, 5 feet. But I'm going to throw another dart here, too. The guy who had the opportunity to even it up was Rodriguez. He should have thrown his best fastball at Rizzo's front knee. And, if he hits him, he hits him, because guess what? That's part of baseball, too. And, maybe Rizzo that would slow him down for a game or two because they're not, when Rizzo came back up, and I think that play happened in the bottom of the 7th, the top of the 7th, so you knew he was coming back in the 9th. They had plenty of opportunity, and that seems to be a reoccurring theme, too, that the Pirate pitchers don't back up their position players as much as they should.
Yeah, it doesn't happen as much, and thanks for the call. I know it's happened only maybe a couple times, like the last 15 or so years, since this has really been an issue, dating back to the whole situation when you had the Reds and even with the Brewers. It hasn't been something that's happened a lot, Paul. But, at the same time, I will say this much. When you have a guy like Rizzo that wasn't responsible for that, he comes back up to the plate. I think the thing that just twists the knife is he drives in 2 more runs when you don't retaliate. And like I said before, it kind of goes back to if the Cubs are going to claim old school baseball as a reason to do it, then the Pirates can claim old school baseball as a reason to retaliate.
And the way they used to do it was plant it in the middle of your back.
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do. If you want to be old school, do it. Just put one in the middle of your back and be done with it. Or, like I said, Jason Hayward was next. You throw at him, then the next guy gets up, you throw at him. You're already out of the game. You're down 5-0. Who cares?
At this point?
If it's a 1-0 game, it's a little different. But it's a 5-0 game. I throw at 2 guys. You ever see that movie, what is it, The Untouchables, with Sean Connery, and Kevin Costner's, what is it?
He comes at you with a knife, you come back with a gun. You put a guy in the hospital, you put another one in the morgue.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Big fan of that movie, by the way.
You put one of ours in the hospital, we put one of yours in the morgue. Yeah. That's how you do it. So I say, okay, you're going to do that. We're coming after 2 of your guys.
And one thing I'll tell you, if that happened, no one would see it coming from the Pirates. I pretty much.
No, exactly. And you only got to do it once.
And that actually leads to a question from Eli on Twitter. He says, do you think the Pirates will hit Rizzo tomorrow or do anything of that sort as far as retaliation? Do you think you'll try anything tomorrow, Paul?
No. I'd be shocked if they do. Because a couple things, they got to win a game. They need to win. And so you don't want to, if your starting pitcher comes out and throws at Rizzo, he's probably going to get thrown out of the game, or it'll be a warning maybe, but they might just say, hey, you know what, you threw at him, it's intent, whatever. But
they might do that whole pregame warning, okay, just so everybody knows we're warning everybody before the game.
Exactly.
And then you really.
But again, what I would do, honestly, is I would start, I don't know, I'd sacrifice Crick or somebody start him because Rizzo bats what, about third?
I think he's either second or third.
Right. I mean, he bats early in the order. I would have Crick play like first base or something to start the game, and have who's starting tomorrow, Tyon or whoever.
Kingham got called. Kingham, for Nova.
I'd have Kingham pitch to the first two guys or whoever it is, right? Then I would take. Then I would take Kingham and put him on first, and Crick to pitch to Rizzo. Let him drill Rizzo, and then put Kingham back on the mound and Josh Bell in the game. Okay, now let's play.
Oh my God!
Right?
That would be interesting. I've never heard that kind of strategy before.
Why not?
Paul Zeise, next manager.
Yeah.
Hey, put the bid in early. Let's go back to the phone lines. Marilyn and Munhall. Marilyn, you're in the Nightly Sports Call.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for calling in.
You gentlemen just alluded to the score of the Stanley Cup.
Yes, it's 5 before Vegas.
Are you as shocked as I am at the high score?
Yes, we actually just discussed it, and thanks for the call. I don't think any of us saw this coming. And Paul, from Marc-Andre Fleury's side of it, he thought he's been playing well enough. Me, from Washington's side of it, I thought the way they played defensively, especially in these past couple of games against Tampa, I thought made a lot of difference. So I think Paul and I are both pretty surprised.
Well, I mean, and Braden Holtby was really good. Both goaltenders have been really, really good. But the thing about it is, this is the first game of the series, so they're both, trying to feel each other out a little bit. And, I would expect both. Plus, they've both had a reasonably long layoff. I would expect that both goaltenders will settle in and both teams will start. I mean, we'll start to see those 2-1 games, 3-2 type games.
Series they're all about adjustments from game to game. Right. I imagine that would be the case. Got to wrap up when we come back. Stick around.